It's time for the mystery guest. He is the editor-in-chief of this fine magazine, George. The nation's largest political magazine. He and the editors of George have a new book out, just came out today, The Book of Political Lists. Very funny, very interesting. Please welcome John F. Kennedy, Jr. Well, thanks for coming. We try to keep it a mystery here, so.
You did a very good job.
Well, thanks, I know. And thank you for coming out. I know you don't usually do these kind of shows, so it's a thrill to have you here. Now, I know you're a New Yorker. Jerry's moving to New York. Any tips?
Tips? There's this great soup place. I don't know. Really? No, I don't know. Yeah, in the 50s.
Really?
Yeah.
How is the service?
He's like ill-tempered.
I see. All right, I'll check it out.
Let me ask you.
I got to tell you, my judgment in following Mr. Seinfeld on the biggest night in TV, they always tell you in politics you got to watch who you follow. So I don't know what I was thinking, but it's a great honor to be here.
Well, it's an honor to have you
this night.
Yeah. Now, weren't you on, no, you weren't on Seinfeld, but you were portrayed, right?
My elbow, I think it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had, you were in the famous contest episode.
Yeah, well, that's
You
right.
slept with the very...
I did. No, it was funny because I hadn't seen the episode, and I come out of my house in the morning, and everyone is like yelling across the street, and I'm walking to work. You know, I was a district attorney then, and people are driving by in their cars and honking, and I'm going, what the heck is going on here? So I walk in, and, you know, as people start to say, oh, you know, I saw you last night. Were you on Seinfeld? Were you on Seinfeld? I said, no, what is everyone talking about? So they explained it, and then I had a trial, and I walk into the court, and the defendant is sitting there over there, and he goes, you were on Seinfeld. And I was like, no, I wasn't on Seinfeld. And he leans over to his lawyer, and he goes, guy's an actor, too. No wonder he failed the bar exam. So,
Could we go back a second? Did you say you hadn't seen the episode?
it was the only one. It was the only one. But I got a tape, actually. The office was very kind to send it on.
Now, you've been obviously around politics your whole life. Do you think you will ever run? Would you ever run? Is that something? People always...
Well, you know, other than people asking me, were you on Jerry Seinfeld show? That is the second most frequently asked question. You know, I'm being an editor of a political magazine. You're able to be in politics without really being in politics.
Right,
you know?
right.
So it's like being the vice president, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it's...
Is it...
I mean, I have a great time doing that, and we all know that politics is a tough profession these days, but I think a very rewarding one.
Well, the magazine is terrific. I know, I look through it because it gives me great ideas for jokes.
Really?
Well, I like it because it's... Oh, no, it is, because... I mean, sometimes you read political magazines, it's all sort of very dry,
right.
Whereas you guys always come at it from a funny angle, which kind of sparks.
Right.
And you always do interesting covers. You always have people playing...
Yeah.
Like you had... Who was Dennis Rodman? What political figure was he?
No, Charles Barkley.
Oh, Barkley, that's what it was.
Yeah, he was George Washington.
George Washington.
And Harrison Ford was Abraham Lincoln.
Right.
And Howard Stern was George Washington.
Well, there you go.
Which there was a remarkable similarity there. And I mean, we've always actually been, you know, trying to get you on the cover to do.
You think so?
Yeah.
Who would I?
Yeah. Well, actually, I think we happen to have one.
Is this?
Here.
Oh, I will. I'd love to do it. Who would I?
I think it's very.
Oh, that's lovely.
Lovely. Has anyone seen this?
It's. I see. That's.
Lovely.
And I'm a handsome woman, very busty. Apparently, I'm a very busty woman. Well, now we're busting people for pictures. Let me ask you something, because I know in your life, I always see you. You always seem very dignified and avoid this and avoid that. And one day I opened George, and there is a picture of you naked in your own magazine. Wait, we have the picture. There you are right there. Now, naked in the
How do you know he's naked? I can't tell if he's naked.
Yeah, exactly.
He looks like he's wearing shorts.
Exactly. And running shoes.
No, the
He
man.
could have a very small tuxedo on there.
All right. Now,
You might not be wearing pants.
Exactly.
No one knows that.
now, were you naked in the photo?
I wasn't actually. I was.
Oh.
I was wearing pants and shoes. You would have perhaps had Newt Gingrich nude from the shoulders down.
I don't think anybody wants to see
think
that.
so? No, it wasn't. It was. You know, everyone always says that no one reads editors' letters, and they read that one. So, what are you gonna say? It worked for the time being, but.
Now, what is the Monica Lewinsky poem that is in here? Explain this.
Oh. Do we have to? I guess we should.
Well, we should.
We happen to have someone who sent us Monica Lewinsky's poem that she wrote in 9th grade. Actually, not in 9th grade, when she was a 9-year-old. And I know I'm going to rot in hell eternally for this, but can I maybe just give it a sample?
Yeah, give a sample.
Okay. It was written. The poem is a poignant rumination on how, quote, I can be a delicious lunch, dinner, or breakfast, if you're weird. She goes on to describe herself, quote, as a round and flat piece of dough with lots of topping. I am a mouth's best friend. I make you say, yum, yum.
It's amazing how kids know at a young age what they're going to do with their life. Well, this here is the... Now, this was fascinating, because this is a
You like
great
that?
sort of reference book, you know,
Yeah.
just looking up odd things. It's a book of celebrity lists. What is your...
Political
I'm sorry, political list.
Political, celebrity.
It's almost the same.
Yeah.
What is your favorite? What is your favorite?
Well, there's a lot of them. I mean, you know, we tried to basically have a kind of a resource book about politics that also had some funny things in there. And so that, you know, the whole problem with politics is people often think that it's dull and boring and they don't really appreciate some of the drama or some of the history or some of the funny parts. So there are everything from code names of presidents to Jimmy Carter's list of 10 favorite desserts that he insisted to Richard Nixon's protocol at state dinners.
What was the women, what was it, the women that ran for president?
Women who ran for president who couldn't vote for themselves. There was, you know, there's obviously lists of men who ran for president who shouldn't be able to vote for themselves, but the women, one of them, there were two, one of them was named Victoria Woodhull. She ran for president in 1872. She's not, no one really knows about this, but she was a free love candidate, and she had 2 husbands, and she got 3,000 votes. And one of her suitors was Cornelius Vanderbilt, and before she ran for president, she used to get stock tips from him, and she opened up her own brokerage house in New York and made a killing. So she was really a woman, a very modern woman way before her time.
Well, that's what's fun. It makes you realize there's nothing new, really, under the sun.
Well,
I mean, everything that's been done has sort of been done.
Yeah.
But it's very funny, just odd facts about various political figures.
Oh.
Well, listen, it's, of course, the book of political lists, and, of course, George the magazine. Thanks so much for coming.
so much.
Really a pleasure to meet you, finally. John F. Kennedy, Jr. I want to talk to you for a minute, but before I do, I want to thank our guest, Darrell Hammond. Thank you very much, Saturday Night Live. Thank you, very funny man. Story Spelling Trick is the movie. It opens Friday, and of course, Luscious Jackson. Electric Honey is the CD. I want to thank you for bearing with us tonight. I mean, it's kind of hard to do jokes when, you know, terrible things happen in the news, and I think we've all were affected. And I'm trying to understand why so much, you know? I mean, for me, growing up in Massachusetts, and the Kennedys are so much a part of my life as a kid, you know, I remember my mom crying when John and Caroline were in the funeral, you know, and it sticks in your mind. And then when he came here and sat in a chair, it struck me that at what point did I think that my life would ever intersect with his life, you know? And he really made an impression on everybody here. Genuinely a nice man. I mean, all the Kennedy jokes we've done over the years, he could have been nicer and kinder, signed autographs, said hello. And then my wife and I were talking about it last night, you know, and you realize there are people that you just want to see grow old, just for the fun of it, because their life is so close to your life.
You know, people like him and Princess Di, and you realize these people never really did any bad. Whenever you saw them, you smiled and you felt happy for them, and you wanted them to have a good life, you know? And for those of you who think somebody has something more than you go, oh boy, and then something tragic like this happens. So thanks for making the job easier tonight. Like I said, doing the monologue, I said, how do you go out and do a monologue? But that's the job we have to do here, and try and be silly and try and maybe cheer people up. But please don't think it's not on our minds, because if it's on your minds, it's on our minds too. So I just want to say, you know, say a prayer, and God bless him. And he was a very, very nice man. That's all. Good night, everybody.